Welcome to the 19th chapter of the book of Genesis. It begins in verse 1. Ilthon they e theo angeli e Sodoma esperis. And the two angels, we have theo for two, underline that, and angeli, angel, we'll underline that one. Theo, duo, two, is a derivative, and angeli, angel, is a direct transliteration into English. So now, instead of three with Yahweh God, we have two angels coming into Sodom at evening, esperis. We have vespers, derivative for that one, underline that. Lot they ekathito paratin polin Sodomon, and Lot settled Para by the city, the Polin, metropolis, city of Sodom. Idon they, and seeing, Lot exanasti is sinantasin aftus. Lot rose up to meet them. So here they come, these two men and angels. And he ke prosekinis se to prosopu epi tigin. He did obeisance. This word always means obeisance. Later we'll see how the English changed it to mean something else. But it won't appear until a little bit later in Genesis with that English word. But they did obeisance with their face upon the gene. Geology, then that's a derivative. Ke epin, verse 2, Idhu, Kyrie, behold, Lord, and there's a small L because it's not the Lord, not Jehovah. Turn aside, eklinate iston ikon, to paithos imon, ecology, economy, ikon, house. Ke katalisate, ke nipsaste, tus podas imon, and rest up and wash your podas, tripod, the podas. Ke or three Santes apalevsas the istin odon imon, that rising early you may go into your way. Odon, we had that in the last chapter. Odometer. Ke ipon, uki al enti platia, a plate, platia, square. Katalisum, we will rest up. And 3. Ke kata via zeto. Aftus. Ke exeklinan pros afton. And they turned aside towards him. Ke isilthon is ton ikon aftu. And they entered into his house. So now these two angels have gone to Lot's house. Ke apis and aftis poton, has to do with drinking. Have you seen this poto? Potable, has to do with drinking. He made for him a banquet. Ke azimus epepson aftis, and he baked them unleavened breads. Ke ephagon, and they ate. There's artus, is bread that generally has leavened and has risen. In verse 4, pro tu kimithine, before putting to bed, e andres tis polios, the men of the city, e sodomite, the sodomites, periakikloson, tin ikian, surrounded the house, aponianisku, eos presbyteru. We have this Presbyterian and elder, and it goes into the church terminology for Presbyterians, older. Apas oleos ama, all the people together, but later it says the men. So it's not just the men and women. Some people might like to think it was that way, but it's not. It gets more explicit a little bit later down here and says it was the men. Ke exekalunto ton lot, and they called forth Lot. Ke elegan prosafton, and they said to him, Pu isin, where are they? E andres, the men. E iselthontes prose tinicta, the ones entering to you this night. Nocturnal is a derivative. Nicta. exagage, avtus prosimas. Lead them to us, ina syngenomytha avtis, that we may be intimate with them. Well, this word in 4773 right here is more than intimate. It means to have sexual relations. It only appears in one other place in the Bible. We'll go to that here. And that's in Genesis 39:10. And it's when she spoke, that's Potiphar's wife, to Joseph day by day, and he did not obey her to sleep with her, and to be intimate with her. And that's the only other place is 47:73. It's to have sex. And these men of Sodom weren't wanting to be friends and hug them. It was to have intercourse with them. In verse 6, exilthe they Lot, pros avtus, and Lot came forth to them, pros to prothyron, to the threshold. Teen they theron, proseox, and opiso avtu, and the door he shut behind him. So now he's going out to these people, and he shut the door behind him. He kept the angels inside, and is trying to reason with them. And he says, Ipe they, pros avtus, midamos adelphi. And he said to them, by no means, brethren, Adelphia, Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. Adelphia is a derivative. Me, poni rev siste. You should you do, by no means should you, brethren, should you do wickedly. So they were doing wicked. In verse 8, Isi they, me, theothigateras, uk egnosen andra. But there are to me two, dio again, thigateras, and daughters, almost a direct transliteration into the English, who knew not a man. They're virgins, younger girls. Later we see that he had at least two other daughters. They weren't living there. They were married. Exaxo avtas prosimas. I will lead them to you. Ke chrasti avtes katha an araski imin. And you treat them as pleases you. Monon, only, monogynous, only marriage, only, monon. Only istus andras tutus, only these men, me pisate adikon. You should not do unjustly. Well, how about his daughters? It seems like that would be more unjust. But the laws and rules and mores of the people in the Middle East are definitely different than the people today in the 21st century. Some countries in the Middle East, probably this would still go on. Uinakan isilthon ipo tin skepin ton thokon mu, because they entered under the protection of my beams. So we see something similar to this in the book of Judges, and we'll go to that in the next seminar here.